Alright, hello, what's up y'all? Welcome to YouTube. We're back for another video on how to make your own comic. As you can see, I've already kind of started on our fourth character. Kind of started before I started the video. And this is Sarah the Pink Fury. She is a regional tournament winner that's eventually going to link up with our hero Drake that I drew already. Get her right. And one thing about female drawings, it's a little bit, took me a long time to kind of to draw them without making them all masculine, you know, but I do good. So here we're gonna draw now Latana, which is eventually gonna be one of our protagonists who he has gonna have a crush on. She's gonna, you know, somehow some type of love entanglement between these two. Now let's see. Peaceful looking eyes. A little headband. And Latana comes from, see, basically what Latana and excuse me, with Drake have in common is like they're both like the last of the kind. So that's kind of what we how they have like a mutual understanding of one another. She actually gonna come from one of the Eagle tribes that no longer exists. That no longer exists, basically. So, and that's basically how they're gonna come to like this mutual understanding with one another. So we got Latana right here, who grew up in an orphanage, and eventually Drake's gonna, you know, join this orphanage, you know, because he's not gonna be able to find a home, you know, so powerful and destructive. He's gonna have to figure out how to way to like train his power and, you know, contain it, learn how to contain it, you know. That's what he's gonna meet. In the earlier days of his life, his mentor, guardian, one of the four immortals, Sensei Wu. Give her iconic long hair. Boom. Traditional feathers. Yeah, she comes from an Eagle tribe, basically, where one of the basically one of the bad guys basically took over her homeland of the Eagle people, where they ride giant eagles. And they no longer exist, but she's like the last of her kind, you know. She got the little feathers. She's not really a fighter, you know, but she's gonna be around, you know. There we have Latana. See, it's based off of right there. You know, gotta have some feminine characters in there. And how are we gonna add? I'm gonna try to squeeze this one in too. I bet you I can do it. A mysterious fox character from the Fox clans, basically. I think it's probably best if I do put it over there. Let's see. here. I'm gonna start with a simple design. It's real simple. Like and subscribe, y'all. Like I was saying, like if you're doing this at home, anybody can do this, man. All you gotta do is stay focused. You know, that's all the greats and Ninja Turtles started like this. Happy 4th of July, y'all. Let's go right there. Not really a holiday person, but you know, hey, to each his own. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of green little slash. Look, fit right in, because these characters over here is not fairly big, and this character is also gonna be one of our kind of quiet, mysterious characters, you know. And as you can see, most of these characters on this are barefoot. They kind of represent the nature and elemental side of things. They don't believe in using really technology like that. It's kind of a big fight between the new elite enterprise that's being led by General Quan, one of the other 4 immortals who turned bad. You know, boom, that. This character right here specifically comes from the Fox clans. And she winds up joining, you know, trying to find her basically place in life, because the Fox clan's theory went through a shift of basically going against elementals and all that type of stuff. You know, these people possess the ability to turn into foxes and stuff, and it's kind of outlawed in that land. So she kind of left to be herself. You know, she wears this mask because she's wanted. But, and amongst these guys, she's not wanted. You know, it's kind of a shift on the earth right now taking place, where it's like technology versus nature, so to speak. Some embrace both, you know. These guys tend to not force people to do it, versus the bad guy, who I'll show later, General Quan, one of the immortals, who thinks he should do away with all elements and all nature, you know. He don't want to be dependent on the gods and the tournaments, you know, for them to help Earth, where he feels like it's his home and his realm to, you know, protect. He doesn't really feel too good about the defeat of the ancient kings when they ruled. There we go, and there we go. Then we got Nilex. Boom. There you have it. Part 4. Stay tuned. That's all we got so far. I'm basically just redrawing these because this paper's so old and raggedy. And by the time I redrew these guys, you know. That's what we got so far. All right, stay tuned.